It's kind of a pushover right now. Obviously, if you come here really early on, you've probably seen how hard it can be to fight. And there's a few times you will have to fight him early. Well, I don't know. I guess you can skip him. Like, you can technically run away from him and despawn him, I guess. But I tend to try him for whatever reason I need to be here. Alright, so we're finally to Murkwater Cave. A very, very short cave. Pretty much just here to kill patches. Sprung a trap. But I'm way too overpowered for this area. Somehow the game played itself right there. No, this is still part of the dubbed area, so yeah.
Well. Thought you'd just help yourself to a man's personal belongings, huh? You scheming little thief.
It's like I'm watching someone play the game instead.
Wait, please.
That's the amount of commentary over. But fortunately, this is the only time in the playthrough that I have this issue. Also, I will be getting not for this or the next playthrough, but for the playthrough after, I will be getting a better mic stand. So hopefully the audio for the mic will be a little better. If not, I am considering buying a separate mic for audio, but I feel like the issue isn't with the mic, it's with the settings maybe, and obviously with the placement. So this one, if I get a mic stand, it'll be a little closer. And then I can just adjust the settings better, right? So we got the third pouch now from the Finger Crone lady.
Now, those half a challenge find them well.
Considered upgrading it, but Bloodflame Blade does not scale with the Arcane from that seal, which I believe is the only way that seal scales with Arcane. So now we're just selling excess things. I think I end up selling stones here, and then I end up buying some back later or getting some back. Pretty much I need a set of sombers for the weapon to kill Rykard, and whatever other sidearm I get. I think Erdtree's Favor uses them as well, so I didn't plan on that. But again, spoiler, we don't stick to that. The damage it's just not. It's not worth the points into the faith stat from Bloodfight Blade. If we were a strength faith build, then sure, probably could make something happen out of it. And even then, we'd need to put more into faith to take the most advantage out of that specific seal. Otherwise, I think at 40, I forgot what seal is better. And obviously, it's also spell dependent, so certain spells work better with certain seals. But I think Urtree's favors like 60 faith for it to be the best, right? So we got some upgrades here. Some selling some stuff, buying some stuff, all that good stuff. And now we're gonna take on the Mad Tongue, Albrich. This guy's also a pushover right now. Not a boss, just, you know, I like taking on certain enemies that are there. I would go out of my way for more enemies, but it ends up being just that, where I'm going out of my way. So I try not to. So I skip a lot of like you know, prior bosses that become just regular mini bosses or enemies or whatever. Now we're gonna go start taking out some more bosses. So Tree Sentinel time. Getting that attack in there. It's actually pretty insane how much damage you can do with Lion's Claw in this weapon. Just imagine if I saved him for later and I had the Alexander Shard. I wonder if I could one-shot him with Lion's Claw. Alright, so we're just heading to Grove to Groveside Cave. Another short little cave here. Off. Pretty sure it will fits me. Oh, it doesn't. Usually it does. And do I need a buff? I mean, obviously not. The Beastman is also a pushover at this point. Pretty much everything we're going to be doing for a good minute is going to be ridiculously easy. I don't think it starts picking up until we get to like Kaled. Or take that back. I think we do Landel first. So probably that area. Yeah, once we're actually in Kaled, like Dragon Barrow and stuff, things actually are a challenge. You got that one down there. That guy always gives me a hard time. It doesn't matter what the build is. He's tanky and he does a lot of damage. So if you want to be like overpowered for him, you would have to be a really high level. Like really, really high level. Otherwise he's a hard boss. Equip the shackle on the side. So it is like Stormfoot Catacombs. We're gonna fight the true cat looking thing. I don't know, they look like cats to me. To equip it properly. I'm not wasting time. I probably mentioned this before, but that thing is amazing for finding hidden doors, and it works extremely far into the level. Doing that at the beginning of most caves will unlock most of the doors, the ones that you have to but you also have to consider that if there's any like traps, it'll usually activate them. So if you're trying to like reset it to neutral, you have to do it twice. So a good rule is, do it once, go in there a little bit, and then go do it again. Like a little bit, like wait a little bit, just so the trap has enough time to move and then move back. If I decide to take that marker off, it's pointless. Alright, we're heading to the coastal cave. Kill this bird. I think I'm trying to see if they drop those little feet thing. But I don't have the recipe, and I don't check where the recipe is in this playthrough. But either way, those have like an 8% drop chance, I think, for the foot. Which, I mean, it's still worth killing them if they're kind of on the path, Except that this weapon is extremely slow to do that with on torrent. Like, you have to kind of set it up a little bit in advance before you reach the bird, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so there's a merchant down there. We're gonna go check what he has as we make our way down there. And I should buy some of these from this guy, honestly. Neutralizing bolsters are one of the things that I end up needing in the playthroughs sometimes, as well as the ones for rot. I forgot what those are called. So, yeah. And I don't think I buy that in my next playthrough. But yeah, being poisoned sucks. Especially early levels, right?
Well, the only way then.
It always sucks, but it sucks worse when you're like starting a run. Let's just go over here and see if there's anything over there. There's not. Yeah. Rot. Yeah, rot's really, really bad early on, and you can see that when I go get the golden scarab. It's just that turns into a shit show real quick. But I like getting that early. That way, I get the most potential souls or runes without, without having to like go farm them or something like that. Because we're trying to save time. And if we're gonna be farming things, I don't feel like it's gonna be consistent across my playthroughs. So we're here for the demi-human cheaters. Cave. Yeah, and if you are trying to get those foul foot golden ones, this actually is a spot right here. So you go out here, at least early on, right? You go out here, you get the grace, and the birds that look like penguins, those have, I think, a 25% drop chance. So those are the ones you want to kill. You'll probably see some in the edge, and those are the ones that you want to kill. But again, I think that's one right there. But again, like if we're gonna start farming these birds, you might as well just farm the alien guys, the Elveniards and Moog's palace, right? Like what's quicker? Obviously, if you combine them, it'll be faster. But it doesn't take very long to get thousands of rooms that way. See these guys right there. Those guys will have a 25% prop rate. The foul foot, the golden foul, or the regular foul foot, so you can craft the foul foot. And yeah, I just come out here to explore, to clear the island, just kind of waste time, I guess. Pick up some upgrades that I don't need. They're actually extremely out of the way to the point where I don't even recommend them as upgrade path. Like, oh, let's go over here. You know what I mean? Like, it's already convenient the way it's set up. So he doesn't drop a foul thing, but yeah, they dropped those right there in the middle. All right. Anyway, Patches sells that recipe, by the way. So if you're wondering how to get that recipe for the golden foul foot, you can get it by selling his ball bearing if you killed him to the finger maidens in the table of lost graces. Then you could buy the recipe there. You could also buy some already crafted, like I think 3 from her, which is worth it. I mean, it's worth it. They're like 600 a pop, I think. And you could use them on the bosses. Get yourself an extra 20k rooms. Alright, we're heading towards Stormhill Shack. Or from Stormhill Shack to Stormhill Evergale, I should say. Take on one of the hardest bosses in Limgrave. Yeah, if you try this early on, this is probably one of the hardest things in terms of like, well, I don't know, Erdtree Sentinel or this guy. This guy can be a pain. depending on your weapon too. These guys with the katana, it's actually a pain. Because they don't like move. You're hitting them and they're just like, oh, that's not something, keep attacking. There's no poise damage, really. Alright, we're heading to the War Master Shack now. We got some runes we could pick up right here, and we're just gonna pick them up. Anytime you see these coffins like that, there's some goodies nearby, so yeah, just always. And you could see some of these on the map, like you can see the little layout. There's like little miniature rectangles lined up in the array. So if you mark those on your map and they're nearby, assuming you have the map, you just head out your way and go grab those. Free, you know, it's free runes. It doesn't take very long to pick them up, and they're expendable runes, so it's not like you have to kill, you know, like the Avenirix or something like that to get a bunch of runes. Which, by the way, sometimes it's easier or faster to kill the Avenirix than to use a certain amount of expendable runes. But that's usually late game, so when you can just like one shot the whole mass with them. So if you've ever gotten Radagon's boss weapon, then you know what I'm talking about. Kill this guy, get his armor, and then time to fight the Belberry hunter here.
The volcano miner awaits you.
And that's a good armor early on. That's a pretty good armor early on. So I mean, if you want a pretty tanky armor, you just got one pretty much from that guy. We're juggling other stats right now, so endurance isn't the biggest priority. We're setting it, so making it night, sitting back down, coming back here to see if we can make this guy pop out. And there he is. Use the stagger. He's gone. So I forget to swap ashes right here, but we're heading to the Deathbird. It won't matter, but it's extremely fast if you have Sacred Blade on to kill Deathbirds. If you want to kill them even faster and you're not doing like a challenge run, get yourself a mace or a fucking club or something, a blunt weapon that you can put Sacred Blade on. Pretty much just start hitting him in the head. They're weak to blunt and hold. Just going to killing spree. Taking out all these little creatures. See that I'm still doing big damage, but he probably would have been dead. Missed a critical. Now we're heading to Death-touched catacombs. A little bit, starting to kill things. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't. I don't have these all memorized. Hell, I don't even know the name of the catacombs until I get there. For like 99% of them. So some of them I can be like, yeah, I think so. I think it's that one, you know? If I had to like match the name with the one. But not really. So kind of had to check where it is. Put a marker. And then head to it. Here it is. And oftentimes, I mean, it's like in the area, but I mean, it's a big fucking map, dude. There's up, down, fucking north, west, south. Got a lot of places to go. Increase our endurance. We're gonna need endurance, obviously, for better gear. And to be able to swing our weapon and do things more efficiently. Now, for some reason I put this on thinking I need it here. I think the name kind of got to me and I was like, oh, this must be like one where I need sacred because it's a death-touched catacomb. You know? Obviously, skeletons are powerful skeletons, but I'm not trying to use my FP because that's a limited resource with my build. But we don't need it. We don't need it at all for this boss. This boss is not an undead. It's not weak to holy, at least not that I'm aware of. Yeah, we have a black knife assassin. And, yeah, it's gonna go the way you think it's gonna go. And I don't mind fighting black knife assassins, except the invisible. The one invisible one we gotta fight. Like, the torch is after him, right? Like, in terms of progression. You can see the invisible enemies. And depending on the weapon, it's really fucking hard to hit. With this weapon, it's not so bad. If I remember correctly, because our turn radius is, like, for our attack, it's like all the way around us. But there's certain weapons where our attack is more like up, down, like that. And it's going to be hard to hit an invisible enemy, you know, hitting only like 5% in front of us, 10% in front of us, instead of all around us. At this point, I'm just kind of exploring. We also do need to get down to High Road Cave.
you here as a customer?
He's got some goodies. Check what his inventory is, pretty much. We don't need that recipe, so
I'm afraid I've very little to offer.
there's very few recipes that we actually need in most playthroughs. The bowls is one, probably. It's probably a good one to get. The foul foot. And sleep pods, obviously. Those are probably some of the most useful ones we can get. Heading to Hyrule Cave. Easy early area with some really crappy jumps. So, swap dash war back. For some reason, I'm just one-handing right now. Doesn't really matter though, because everything's kind of weak in this area, so. As far as things to buy from the merchant, that's another thing you want to get. You want to get the lantern. I don't really like using the torch because then, you know, you got to do one handed, which, you know, it's not a big deal, like I said right now, because everything's really weak, so it just dies one hit. I mean, sometimes it's inconvenient to do one handed. Say you're doing like shit. Don't have shield. No, you don't have whatever weapon you have alongside a torch. Don't even know if you can do this, but I just do it. Barely make it. I never remember how to do this area properly, so I just jump, check things, hope I make it. Pretty sure I died here in one or two of the playthroughs. 2 lions bothering me though. Level 56. I'm pretty sure I'm still wearing. Yeah, I'm still wearing the sword seal. So I mean, you know, that's helping me quite a bit right now, especially since everything in this area doesn't hurt too much. It's still hard for me to know when to pivot from the sword seal. So depending on the build, I feel like sometimes I do it too late. But I'm trying to do a thing where I get my health to 60 first. And then that way I can pivot off of it and then just worry about the other stats for more damage or whatnot later. You also got great runes to help you, you know, so as long as you're not in an area where you know you're going to be dying all the time, you can just pop a great rune and kind of make up for or add on to the sources. So that's the night cav to take care of. I got really lost in this area on my most recent playthrough. I was just going in circles trying to find it. I don't know why I couldn't. Oh no! Hitting him in the head obviously doesn't do bonus damage. Actually, makes him less damage when hitting him in the body. As you saw there, really fucks him up. Oh, I saw him. Grace, get out of there. Not like we're gonna do her quest. Forlorn Hound Everjail. If you ever just want to use a pretty cool weapon, it's pretty powerful early on, but it's probably the Everjail to do it. You need a +10 Bloodhound thing. You know, one boss or 0 if you do the work. I mean, a lot of people swear by it. The damage actually is pretty impressive on it, but people swear on the Asher War. I've never used it personally, but yeah, it seems like a good weapon, at least early on. So even if you want to pivot off of it, starting out, it's insanely good. to the Earthborn Cave. Let's fight the Rune Bear. I mean, I don't really have anything to say about this cave. It's a pretty short cave. And we fight a Rune Bear. We fight a pretty common enemy out there. Getting this. Just fall down the trap. At this point, I'm like really concerned because I don't have a lantern. Bust out the plate. Telling myself I'm gonna get one. Which I do. I eventually do go get one. I don't know if we get it from the merchant that I was thinking, which is the Liurnia one. But I think there's another one that has it. And I think we just get it from that guy. I think he's in this. Just going around slaying some rats. Yeah, we're almost to the end. Buffing out, save it. Try buffing out. Not very smart. Get grabbed. Fortunately, that grab did less than probably because we have both down. We're gonna get a level real quick. Pretty close to one. Just pop some runes. Just looking at my gear here, trying to see if there's anything I can put on that makes me have slightly better defense and poise. Obviously, you want 51 poise, but we're in a situation where we don't have enough endurance for all the stuff we want. Also, I just noticed that the poise is kind of blocked off by the by me, I guess. So maybe there's a better way for the cam to be positioned. I'm not sure yet. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it really sucks. I mean, I could put maybe the controller where like the health is, the death counter probably where I'm at, and myself at the top right. That might work. I don't know how I feel about that layout though, but that might work. That might actually work. So I know right now I kind of block the things I pick up a little bit, which isn't that big of a deal. Okay, we'll check the ruins. Literally nothing we need, so we're just gonna sell that. Not even worth the time it takes to get it. Could have killed any random enemy for the same amount of souls, probably. The ruins. So we got a pretty low death count right now, which is really good. I mean, yeah, we're just starting, but I feel like maybe with the Guts Greatsword it was already higher. I don't remember. It was definitely a lot more challenging playing with the Guts Greatsword. Yeah, I have considered like the Zweihander again. If I remember correctly, it's like a mixed stat for optimal damage. So you wouldn't go full strength. You'd go like strength and dex or something. I'm not sure. I'd need to look into how to optimize Zweihander. And obviously the big damage would come from the poke, right? So it just depends. Anyway, so I found out where I was going, just kind of lost there and wandering. I believe this is Tombsword Catacombs. Robert Pattinson here. I mean, Guts is gonna put a hurt on the cemetery chair. Just one. Yep. Yeah, so far in this game, I mean, two of my favorite Ashes of War are probably giant and last. I do like square off as well. As far as like buffs go, I mean, Seppuku and Crackblade are obviously extremely powerful. They're not really like they're not actually skill, right? So to say that they're my favorite would be kind of, but they are good. Couldn't see when his attack was coming. Otherwise, that's like one of my favorite attacks when he does it. There's not much left here, really. Try to figure out here. Obviously getting lost all the time. I see that spring over there and I'm wondering, can I jump to it? Spoiler, you can. I think I do. I'm not sure. I do it in one of my playthroughs. I decide, you know what, I think I can reach that. And then I jump to the spring and it actually works. I think we're going to take the safe route. Safe. Quotes. I've died here. I've died doing this plenty of times, so I don't know how safe it is for me. I mean, ideally, it's a couple of things down. Trying to stand there for a second, that way it doesn't like glitch out, give me fall damage when I land at the bottom. It's really weird when it comes to that. Sometimes you just like land on something and then you land at the bottom, and it's like you didn't land on anything in the middle, so it kills you. Or even more fun is when you land, you're not there, you walk around a little bit, and then you just die. And so you got hit with this good heart technique. Killed the. Just kind of lost it. I just got lost in for that. I feel like I have Limgrave down mostly. Weeping is still, I mean, let me rephrase that. I feel like the only place that I have down is Limgrave so far, and that's it. So, it's gonna take me a while to learn the whole game, but I am learning like the path to the stones, since I've done that plenty of times now, and it's like typically the first thing you do if you're doing a unique weapon playthrough. I think the only reason I haven't learned it is because there's the somber path and the regular smithing stone path. So I've had to do both a few times. Yes, that's exactly what we needed. Information wise. Yeah, the sombering path. I just remember that you gotta go to Caleb. You gotta kill that one. Unless you do the glitch, you gotta kill that one Godskin apostle. And then Moog, I think, is where you get the final weapon, which is early if you do everything right. Anyway, we're in more tunnel. We got the Scaly Misbegotten coming out. Some upgrade materials down there. I'll pick them up. I don't need them, that's for sure. I still go through the Misery Court upgrade. At this point, I still don't know that it doesn't work the way that video said it does. So they lied to me. Damn it. Buff, kill the boss.
Okay, I was gonna head somewhere, but I remembered I have to get the Great Rune over here. Right? So, shit, wish me luck. I'm gonna take the main entrance and try not to die. Open the gate! Set them up with combo. It's only 2. Alright. I don't know why. I thought it was 3. I could have swore it was 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Got it. Runes. Alright, let's go get this Great Rune. I'm going to use this. It's 5 in each stat, so obviously I'm going to accept that. As long as I don't die. Which honestly, we shouldn't be dying for a while. Eventually I'm going to switch to Margit's Rune. Just to be tankier and not be juggling my stats so much. But for now, we'll use this. That's going to get our, what is that? It's going to put us at 40 vigor, I think. With the Source Field, that should still be worth it. I need to follow you. There you go, buddy. swear that roll would have worked, but. Just slaying some giants. I feel like there's a few other things that I had to do, but I forgot. But I remember this one, so we'll take care of this while while I'm here and remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a few other things I had to do. Is there anything in the village? So I was kind of curious about Blood Flame Blade because I've never really used it, right? This was part of the build, which I understand because, you know, you put Blood Flame Blade on and then you can still use your Ash of War, right? Instead of like Crag Blade where that is your Ash of War. Which I like Crag Blade. But it's a little disappointing how Blood Flame Blade scales. But it is still extra damage. So I mean it's kind of free damage. It's not worth much. We needed that Arcana anyway. I need to set the room. Let's make sure we do everything in order properly. What was I saying? Don't remember. Doesn't matter, I guess. No, it's only worth a little bit of FP. We still had to put into Faith. We still had to put into Arcane to use the Communion Seal. I guess if we want to really optimize Blood Flame Blade, we actually should be using a seal with more faith. 13, 19. I think I can do it. No. Not worth it. I don't want to do the math either. But like I said, it's still extra bleed, or it's still bleed that we don't have. And you know, it's extra fire damage, which I can add to. You know, if I really want to get reckless, I can add the Scorpion Charm. We can do the flame tier. That's not possible. Oh, hey! I think it's alright. Where are these gravestones? There they are. Let's get in this bitch. Let's go. Let's go. Oh. No, I said it. Okay. Okay, cool. Fucking dick. Lantern. That was the other thing. Lantern. Needs a strong one, right? But it is nice. having one. After I get a certain amount of souls, I'm gonna have to go on an adventure and buy as many of these as I can. You know, we probably won't use them on the bosses we die against multiple times, but we will be using them. So like right now I can use Golden Vow. No need for my flask, for example, right? Which is great. It's fucking great. I even have enough for Blood Flame Blade without. Look at that. So 5 levels into mine would actually set me up where I want to be. That's good to know. Tombsword Catacombs. Also, let me use the Grace real quick. Stats. I'm pretty close to my next level. Yep. A little overkill. It's okay. Ideally, we still want to get our endurance up. Damn, mine is 10? Holy shit. Ideally, we still want to get our endurance up, right? Medium load would be ideal. What am I at right now? 47. Can I get 51 somehow? Let's see, 3.6. Not really. I don't like that look. Alright. That's good. That's as good as we're getting for now. Yeah. Let's get out of here. Wait a minute. few free souls if we can get this guy down. Let's hope he's not one of those. All right. I just wanted to farm you guys. You're not letting me. Where's the? Is this guy gonna come down? Oh shit! Come on, let's not die here. I think I can get this guy down without torrent. Yeah. It's fine. We're not gonna need to blast. We're gonna rest before we start the thing. Coming down. Come on. Come on. We should be able to get a few souls. Let's take advantage of the fact that we got free souls. Don't we have to use something, or is this just you just get it for just getting it? I think you're worth me. That's a free level, see? Torch. Oops, I forgot to add some mind.